The bells heralding the end of school make me jump in my seat. It's only now that I notice Misha is prodding me in the side with her mechanical pencil to get my attention. Hello, is anybody there? Hey, stop that. Ah, there we are. Welcome back to Earth, Hichan. What are you talking about? You keep on dazing off into space. I was beginning to think that you might be trying to contact alien life. I really didn't get much sleep last night, so I don't doubt Misha's words. I'm not sure whether it was due to my medicine side effects, Hanako's panic attack yesterday, or my worrying about her in general, or all three. I yawned tiredly before resting my chin in my palm, having been reminded of how badly I slept. Hey, are you really alright? Yesterday kind of rattled me as well. Yeah, I guess. I wanted to speak to Hanako again, though. Did you see her last night? Yeah, Lily and I talked to her. This may sound a bit weird, but can you tell Shizune thank you from both me and Lily? I know Lily technically didn't thank Shizune, but I could tell by her reaction last night that she wanted to. At least that's how things work out in my head. Yeah. I think what Shichan is trying to say is, you're welcome. The furious shining in Shizune's reddened cheeks tell me that what she said was entirely different. Her blatantly flustered expression is amusing enough to make me chuckle. What's so funny, Hichan? Was it something we said? No, that's not it. I was simply thinking about how cute Shizune can be at times. You're right, Shichan is really cute when she tries not to be. I noticed that Misha decides not to sign a response to Shizune. Maybe Shizune's rage is enough of a counter to any quantity of cute. Nevertheless, Shizune quickly calms down and signs something else to Misha. Oh, okay. Shichan wants you to come and have dinner with us. Dinner, eh? Turning away from them a bit, lest I be swayed by their pleading smiles, I begin to mull it over. The invitation certainly is tempting. A takeaway dinner with two cute girls is not a bad thing after all. The thought of Hanako locked up in her room, though, keeps dancing on the edge of my mind. Sorry, I'll have to pass. Aww. Misha doesn't sign my response, but Shizune picks up on it easily enough and grimaces in disappointment. She moves her arms, assumably beginning some form of either protest or coercion, but stops herself and taps Misha's shoulder twice. Once Misha gives Shizune her attention, the only statement Shizune has on the matter is a shrug. Oh well, it's your choice, Hichan. I promise I'll join you two another time, if that helps. Misha perks up at this, but Shizune doesn't share her reaction. With a flick of the head to signal for Misha to follow her away, Shizune simply raises her hand to silently wave me goodbye. As the two make their way out of the door, I return the gesture until they're out of sight. I didn't think they'd be so disappointed, and it makes me feel a little bad for ditching them. Still, I have things to do. The girls' dormitory is especially rowdy tonight, with a number of girls loudly playing games and watching the television in the common room on the first floor. I can hear their voices even now, standing in front of Hanako's door. It's an odd contrast to the emptiness of the floor she's on. The voices from below make the emptiness feel all the more lonely. I had hopes Hanako would be in class today, especially after the talk Lily and I had with her last night, but I feel like I shouldn't hold it against her. It was a pretty awful episode, and to have experienced it firsthand must be all the worse. Not knowing what state she's in, I take a small breath before giving a few sharp knocks on her brown door. All I can do is stand and wait, doing my best not to feel anxious. As the seconds wear on, I begin to think she might be asleep and didn't hear me knocking. The door hand rattles a little before I can raise my hand to knock again, though. The door opens a sliver, an eye appearing in the gap only just large enough for it to peer through. I'm sure this girl would install a peephole in a dormitory door if only such things were allowed. I'd just stand there and smile at her. I don't think words would really help here, after all. The actress returned in kind, with Hanako wordlessly looking at me. The gap's not wide enough to see her expression, and I can only guess what she's thinking. Time passes as we look at each other, the only sound being the disembodied gaiety from the ground floor. I'm not sure how long it takes, but eventually the eyes moves away. I keep wondering whether she'll let me in or shut me out until the door slowly begins to creak open. Now that I have a full view of her and her bedroom behind, the first thing I notice is that Hanako's hair is quite damp. She's recently showered, which is made even more obvious by the scent of shampoo wafting towards me. The look on her face seems one of curiosity, as if she's not really sure what to make of me. Even so, I'm not really all that sure of what she's thinking. It feels as if she's gone away for a long time, and having now returned, neither of us knows what to say to the other. Hanako realizes she's staring, looking away awkwardly before turning to the side and gazing at her feet. I decide to take it as an invitation to step past her into the room, closing the door behind me as I do so. I can see her hand fiddling in the folds of the oversized gown that hangs from her shoulders. I try to concentrate on what I want to say, but the scent from her addles my senses. To my surprise, it's not me, but Hanako that breaks the silence. Why? Because, why did I come here? I was worried about Hanako, so I came to her room. She let me in, as I had hoped. And then... what? What did I mean to do? What did I mean to say? Why didn't I think this through before coming here? I want to make up for what I feel I caused, at least partly. I want to try and remove the distance I feel between us since then, and to see her happy. How can I do that when I don't know the first thing about her? I wonder if this is how Iwanako felt when she saw me lying in that sterile, pastel blue hospital bed. A deep sigh steadies my nerves a little and ends my stammering. I don't think I've ever felt this nervous around someone before. When I'm like this, I don't think I can lie, even if I could bring myself to. Hanako would see through it right away. I don't know, I just wanted to see you, I guess. Her fingers stop moving, giving me a little surprise. Looking up to her face, she gives a sweet smile and a nod. That was a satisfactory answer for her? Since you're here, I'd like to play a game of chess with you. I almost hang my head in disbelief that all she wants to do, after I've been winding myself up so much, is play a game. Looking at her face, though, a tentative smile perched upon it, I realise that this is more than that. She could have not bothered answering the door. She could have shut it as soon as she saw my face. She could have asked me to leave. She could have rejected me at many points, but she hasn't. Now with this calm face, she wants me to play the same game that we played when we first really spent time alone together. A feeling of relief washes over me. Everything will be alright. Hanako has let me into her world. As long as we can be together like this, I think everything will be alright. It would be my pleasure. The day of Hanako's birthday party is finally here. To be honest, I'm looking forward to seeing Hanako and Lily in their pyjamas again. Hanako's gown has grown on me, is looking rather cute, though a bit conservative, and Lily's shorts and thin silken top are a lovely combination. But the event is stained a little with the memory of Hanako's reaction to it. I still don't really understand what happened, only being able to vaguely guess at the possible reasons for it, but I don't think finding the answer would be as straightforward as asking her. With that in mind, I knock on the door next to Hanako's. "Is that you, Hisao?" "Yeah, it's me." I can hear the pitter-patter of footsteps coming to the door, followed by the sound of the lock snapping open. I don't think I've ever seen Lily's door locked before, and it makes me a little suspicious. Once the door opens, the sight is a little underwhelming for a birthday party. Hanako returns to her seat at the table with a quick smile and a nod, leaving me to close and, assuming they wanted it to be kept that way, lock the door. As I do so, I realise the scene before me is that of an evening tea party, just like any other between the two. Somehow, I don't think I should be surprised. To my relief, Hanako looks relatively calm. The break from class has probably done her good and given her time to wind down a bit. I take a seat between the two at the low table in the centre of Lily's room, the brightly coloured teapot steaming away between us. A tall brown bag close by Lily's side catches my attention. I covertly try to glance inside it a number of times, but can't get a good look from here. Looking to Hanako, it seems like she's as curious about it as I am. "Hey, Lily." Lily finishes off the teacup raised to her lips before setting it down and giving me her attention. "Yes?" "I was just wondering about that brown bag." She pauses for a moment, then gives a slightly cheeky smile. "That would be Akira's present. Unfortunately, she said she was working and can't join us." Lily leans over and feels out the item inside before raising her arm. I raise an eyebrow as two items, not one, rise from the bag. The glass necks are grasped by Lily on either side of her middle finger. So this is why she had her door locked. Wine. Is that wine? There are 2 small thuds as the bottles are brought to rest on the table. One red, one white. I want to believe that it's fake and non-alcoholic wine, but if it was, there wouldn't be any need to be this circumspect. Alcohol? Seriously? Are you sure this is a good idea? Lily smiles politely and giggles. I'm not really convinced that she is. These would be the present from my sister. I know it's a bit questionable, but a little shouldn't hurt. If Lily took serious issue with it, I don't think she'd have agreed quite so easily. That aside, I had Akira squared as the serious and responsible type, maybe like an older Lily, but it looks like I was wrong. We aren't even legally able to drink yet. Well, in that case, I won't complain. They don't look bad either. I'm no connoisseur, but at least the bottles look nice. Apart from a surreptitious glass of wine or 2 given from my father at family dinners, I haven't really had enough to know what's what. That, and I can't really say that I'm a total straight edge. Going by Hanako's expression, she's thinking the same, and it's her birthday anyway. Shall I open one? Sure, I'll get some... My heart skips as I hear 3 sharp bangs coming from Lily's door. Hanako's head flicks around, and Lily's eyes close as she listens intently. None of us want to be busted for this. Who is it? Let me in, I'm cold! Lily lets out a resigned sigh before motioning for Hanako to open the door. She obediently gets up and fusses with her gown before moving, apparently still not quite sure of who it is, but trusting enough in Lily to do as she requests. I can just see a blonde, dark-suited figure become visible over Hanako's shoulder as she opens the door. Happy birthday, Hanako. This is Akira, isn't it? Happy birthday, Hanako. Thank you, Akira. Hanako gives a small bow while twiddling her fingers in front of her. So this is Lily's elusive sister. Akira follows Hanako to the table after shutting the door behind her, giving me plenty of time to have a good look at her. She looks to be about the same height as Hanako, and her short blonde hair that's quite roughly cut. That, in addition to her rather modest breasts, masculine suit and deep voice, gives her quite an androgynous effect. Without further ado, she plumps herself down on the side of the table across from me. It's nice to have your company after all, Akira. Did work let you off? Yep, I've got to think of I'll make her Scottish. I've got to have some kind of accent. Yep, I've got to go back there in a bit, but I managed to get enough of a break to drive down. What kind of accent was that? That was not Scottish, was it? Yep, I have to get back there in a bit, but I managed to get enough of a break to drive down. Yeah, okay, that was Scottish. So, this would be Hisao then. A confident smile gets thrown in my direction, so I nod politely in return. Considering she just jumped straight to using my first name, she's much more informal than her appearance would suggest. Wait. If she's already knows who I am, that must mean that Lily's talked about me with her. I wonder what she said. Sorry for not introducing you, Hisao. This is Akira Satao, my elder sister. I get a feeling that OU does not make an ow sound. Eep. I told you there would be mispronunciations. I see. Nice to meet you. The person in question loudly claps her hands together, making Hanako jump a little bit. Akira notices this and looks uneasy for a fraction of a second before getting back into her stride. Only now do I realise that Akira hasn't paid Hanako's scars any undue attention. Hanako also seems to be comfortable, if not exactly relaxed, around Akira. Well then, I assume the presents got through. No point in waiting, considering Hisao and the birthday girl look like they're pretty eager. Lily giggles as I awkwardly turn away, a little embarrassed by the fact that I couldn't hide my interest. Hanako's eyes are telling me that she wants to try the wine together with me though, so I settle for a look of badly feigned indifference. Akira manages to uncork the first bottle with small effort, and Hanako goes to get some glasses before I get to pour the 4 of them full of white wine. I heard somewhere that white wine has less alcohol than red wine, so I think it would be the best to start with. Here's to Hanako, and to Lily's trip. Cheers. Cheers! Cheers. After the traditional raising of glasses, we all take sips of the pale yellow liquid. It's nothing like the stuff I'd had with my parents, with the fruitiness of the flavour almost entirely hiding the taste of alcohol. Maybe this is what proper wine is supposed to taste like. Then again, it's possible that Akira just chose a wine which would be more suited to our tastes, since none of us are used to alcohol yet. Or at least, I hope none of us are. This isn't too bad. I was expecting something harsher. If you hadn't liked it, I have a few other varieties you could have chosen from. You sound like you know your stuff when it comes to wines. Only a bit. I'm more of a beer kind of person. I have the drinking side down pat though. As if to prove her point, she refills her glass before bringing it to her lips and flicking her head back. Hanako and I silently watch the whole glassful disappears down Akira's throat. I can't decide whether to be impressed or put off, but I certainly don't have any urge to imitate the act. Lily grimaces slightly at her sister's boast. I note that she's sipping from her glass as she does so, though. Anyway, now that Akira's gift has been opened and sampled, shall we move on to ours? Gifts? That's right, we got you presents. It's your birthday after all. This is from me. Lily pulls out the carefully wrapped doll from under the table and passes it to Hanako. Hanako handles the present as if it were glassware, carefully turning it over to remove the tape that binds the wrapping. Eventually, the paper falls from the doll, revealing the emerald green of the doll's dress. It's beautiful. I'm not sure what reaction I was expecting from Hanako. The near total lack of dolls in her room made me think that she didn't care about them, but the look in her eyes now is something different. She turns the doll around with the same delicacy she afforded the wrapping, as if she was expecting it to fall apart in her hands. I'm glad that you like it. Hisao picked it out, to be honest. Hanako suddenly remembers that she's not alone in the room and shifts her focus from the doll. Yes, I like it. Thank you, Lily and Hisao. Actually, I got you something else. I reached into my bag and removed the wrapped chess set. Here, happy birthday. Hanako carefully sits Lily's doll next to her and opens my present with the same care that she showed Lily's. Before long, the checkered squares of the chessboard are visible, and Hanako gently runs her fingers across the carved surfaces. Oh! Almost by accident, she triggers the catch to the lid, startling herself in the process. She opens it and retrieves one of the grey pieces. She seems as absorbed in the chess pieces as she was in the doll before. They're coral, natural coral, undyed, or so I'm told. Thank you, Hisao. No problem, it's your birthday after all. That's right, my birthday. Once again, Hanako's reaction seems a little off, but she carefully closes the board lid. I notice Akira's smile beginning to look very strained. I wonder if she knows anything about what happened in class, given that she seems to be treading on eggshells around Hanako. I'll have to play you again sometime. I'll make sure I'll play you first. She takes the doll she received from Lily and holds it to her chest together with a small chessboard, putting the piece on top. The act seems to settle her down somewhat, and we just sit in silence for a while. I think it's one of the few times I've seen her genuinely happy, cradling the friendship of two people to her chest as tightly as she can. Thank you, Lily. Thank you, Hisao. In the process of thanking us, Hanako drops the chess piece and fumbles a bit in her rush to retrieve it. Once she finds it, Hanako puts the chess set down and nervously gulps at her wine. It's as if the real world suddenly rushed back into her consciousness, and her fastest escape from it was in a glass. Hey, easy there, you shouldn't drink it that fast. It is a party, Hisao. Despite saying this, there is a slightly concerned edge to her voice. Eventually acquiescing, Lily proceeds to follow Hanako's lead, though not as eagerly. She looks to be taking small sips from her glass and letting the wine settle on her tongue before swallowing. I decide this is probably the best approach and do the same myself. Since this is kind of a going away party for you as well, I hope you enjoy your trip at least a little, Lily. Hopefully your aunt will be okay. I hope your aunt is okay too, Lily. Lily and I are slightly taken aback by Hanako's fervour to wish Lily well. Despite her own familial situation, I'm a little impressed. My. Thank you both. I'll be sure to convey your thoughts to my family when I meet them. It'll all be fine in the end, Lily. Don't worry about it. Since the room's mood has been noticeably more sullen, I decided to try and move things along. Well then, shall we start on the cake? My tentative suggestion has the intended effect, everyone lightening up considerably. Yes, please. Cake? Cake? I didn't know there was any cake. I picked one up before I came, along with some snacks. Well done, Hisao. At least one of us remembered to bring one. Everyone seems to welcome the distraction, so I retrieve the cake from my bag and start cutting it up. Mixing wine and chocolate cake isn't something that I thought would work well, but none of us seem to mind. Conversation is temporarily suspended as we start to eat.